into the Real Nerdy Review. Your boy is back with a brand new video, and this happened across my feed as I was looking up some information on James Gunn's DCU, and this one here is a very interesting title. Now, I don't know how much credit goes in the fandom wire, but let's go ahead and check this out. And it says here, we are a lot more planned out than Marvel. James Gunn claims his new DCU is at a better state than early MCU, and he is not wrong. The Guardians of the Galaxy director took over as chief of DC Studios along with Peter Safran. So let's check this out and see exactly what it is he has to say. And it says here, while Marvel gears up for its multiversal saga finale with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, James Gunn's DCU finally seems to be itching toward its beginning. The DC universe has been plagued by mismanagement and unplanned crossovers, resulting in a reboot with Gunn's new and improved DCU, which begins with Superman. Last year, Gunn announced with his co-chief Peter Safran the first chapter of the DCU, which would feature gods and monsters such as Superman, Supergirl, the Authority, and more. He compared the development of the franchise to Marvel and mentioned that it was being planned properly as opposed to Marvel's more improvised approach to Phase 1. James Gunn says the DCU is more planned than early MCU. The word planning and DC movies rarely go hand in hand as audiences have been privy to the number of bad management decisions taken by WB with regard to the DCU. Starting with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, the studio quickly pushed for an Avengers-esque crossover with Justice League. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. After multiple failures, the DCEU was finally put to rest with last year's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and James Gunn's DCU was announced. The filmmaker has revealed a number of films to show. I'm sorry, revealed a number of films, TV shows, and animated series that were in development as part of the DCU, including his directorial Superman. Guns also compared the development of the franchise to the early days of the MCU, which was reportedly built on the go. He said the comic, we are telling a big, huge central story that is like Marvel Studios, except for I think that we're a lot more planned out than Marvel did from the beginning because we've gotten a group of writers together to work that story out completely. But we're also creating a universe that is like Star Wars, where there are different times and different places, different things, or like Game of Thrones, where characters are a little bit more morally complex. He also mentioned that the first chapter will be telling one story, and the DCU is introduced at a time when most of the superheroes have already been established. James Gunn is right about the MCU being less planned. When first when fans look back at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everything seems to be connected, leading to the pivotal moments in Avengers Endgame, where all the heroes assemble to fight Thanos. The Infinity Saga was the first of its kind at the time, and every studio wanted to get in on the shared universe frenzy due to its success. While many moments were planned in the MCU, the lead up to Thanos being the big bad of the Infinity Saga and the Tesseract being the Space Stone was not planned. In fact, the first film of the MCU, Iron Man, was reportedly largely improvised, including the famous closing lines by Robert Downey Jr. that makes a comeback in Endgame. Thanos was reportedly not set up to be the main villain of the franchise until the Avengers, where he is first introduced. In fact, Thanos is extremely inconsistent in his deceptions in the MCU as he made appearances in Guardians of the Galaxy and Age of Ultron before he finally appeared in Infinity War. Josh Whedon, who suggested Thanos to Foggy, said that he did not know what to do with the character via IGN. Hence, James Gunn's statement about the MCU being relatively less planned are true, and the DCU doing things differently than its counterpart. So that is very interesting. I did read a story a while back that said that the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige and whoever else he had on, they didn't plan on making the MCU what it is right now. They did the Iron Man movie back in 2008, I guess just to see how it would do. And then once it started to get once it started to do good numbers, then they came out with the other movies and they kind of planned the MCU. So James Gunn is not wrong saying that it is planned out in the early stages. As far as moving forward, we'll see how the rest of the DCU does. I'm not going to compare it to the early days of Marvel, but we'll see how the rest of the DCU does. I'm pretty sure James Gunn picked Kevin Feige's brain. I'm pretty sure he's sitting back and watching what they're doing over at the MCU, and he's taking notes to help improve the DCU. I've said this before, I'll say it again. We better hope that the DCU does good, or else we ain't getting another DCU project for another 10 or 15 years. So you better be sitting back and rooting for James Gunn, whether you like him or not. We gotta hope the Superman movie does good. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you on my next video. Peace. I'm out. 2,000 subscribers.